Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good day, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Today, we're not going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. Today, we're going to talk about something more significant that is going to happen in the market, which is the debt of US dollar. So, how is that going to happen? We're going to talk about it in a second. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and also like the video so it reaches to more people and everybody gets to know, inshallah. So give me 1 second so I can share the video on group so my friends can also come and join here, and the students as well. Let's go. Alright, so I'm gonna be talking to you in general what is going to be happening, and also what does it mean in the global shift of currency dominance, which so far it has been US dollar, and in the entire world everybody, almost all the countries were using US dollar as their reserves, but not anymore. So many countries, including BRICS countries, have moved from US dollar as their reserve currency, and they're trying to go back to gold, and some countries are now trying to go to Bitcoin, even US itself, which is really funny because all this time they said that Bitcoin is a scam, but now suddenly they're shifting. So things are changing, and we'll have to really take it seriously, and we have to know it before it happens, so we know what to be in and how we can benefit from it before it happens. So if you know, since 1983, if I'm not mistaken, or 73, US dollar was no more backed by gold. What does it mean? It means that in the back of US dollar, there were no more gold backed currency that they were using. They just said, okay, we have debt issuing currency, that we will print money as much as we want, so we can steal your money as much as we want without you knowing, because it gets devalued, and and also military backed currency, which is the US military, and all the time they fought with war and everything, and I'm going to explain everything to you in this chart. So we have one chart which is US dollar index against euro, pound, Canadian dollar, all these major currencies that you can name of. So this is how US have dominated so far, and why it happened, and when did it lose this dominance before, and why do I think it's going to happen again. So we're gonna start from this parabolic run, which started from 1995 toward 2001 and 2002, when 9/11 happened, and right after 9/11 it went up until this demand, then it started falling, and this fall started when US came in Afghanistan and invaded Afghanistan. Why did US dollar lost its dominance until 2008, which was the global market crash, and especially US market crash that happened? So what I think, this is all my personal view of how I see the market and how I see the world. So what I think is that when they came to Afghanistan, for example, a single soldier of US troops was spending around $10,000 per day, and they were bombing, they were killing, they were using their guns and everything on Afghanistan, on Taliban, and blah blah blah. They were saying that we're killing them, they're the bad guys. That's what they were saying. But okay, since then they started printing money, and as you can see, the more they were printing, the more it kept falling and falling and falling. until they started, the crash happened, that all the markets in US crashed. Then it started consolidating until in 2014, the first time that Obama said that we were going to be withdrawing troops. So they started withdrawing some of their troops until we reached COVID. And what happened in COVID? It peaked here and it started falling again because they were printing again. But at the same time, they were supporting war, which if you see in previously when they were spending themselves, not only in Afghanistan, because that's one side of it. If you see that they were spending on Afghanistan, but they were spending on their own on so many other things. They were just printing and printing and printing. That's why it reached like $30 trillion. But also in COVID, they kept printing more money. And what happened was that the dollar, when it got strength, it always gets strength when there's war, okay? But in Afghanistan, it wasn't like an actual war, but when Ukraine happened, it was war with Russia. So you can see that it got strength again from here, and it went up until it reached this level. Now, on a supply and demand perspective, this was a parabolic run toward the all-time highs for dollar. But then after that, this chart is not even full, so it shows us from 1986. But before that, if you go, it's another chart there that I can show you, which is this chart. You can see that after they stopped, they removed the gold from their reserve, it fell. But then it got strength because obviously there was war going on everywhere, and they were manipulating the market by getting strength. So it was their military. They were backing it through that, but they were also taking a lot of tax from everybody. But when it reached this peak, let me just confirm the date of when they move, because I want to tell you correctly. Okay, it's 1971, so yeah, not 73, I was right, it was 71. So right after it peaked in 84, it started falling down, creating this trend for us. And if we come to the other chart which we have, but in this, it's not, if you want to take it as a trend line like this, it still works. But since we're using this chart, so this trend line is also the same, it doesn't matter. But what matters is this parabolic run that we had the first time, from 1995 towards 2001. Then when they started printing more money and things were happening in Afghanistan, the whole world was silent, and they were partying and they were dancing and they were literally partying, okay? So their countries, everything was going good, the economy was soaring up until other things happened. Then COVID came, blah blah blah. But if you keep printing money and there is a lot of debt in the market, which I'm gonna show you that debt clock of US. Bear with me because I'm gonna tell you everything and why do I think this is gonna be the debt of US dollar, and they're gonna be issuing another currency, and why the market is gonna crash really bad. If it happens, then it will happen for good, inshallah. They will be defeated with their economy. So if you see, it's 36,877,396,000,000 in debt, and you see it's still rising. And then they have this Doge clock, which is Department of Government Efficiency, which they're now trying to save some money from here, there. These government agencies and organizations, they're trying to shut down, and these expenses they were sending to who knows which countries they're supporting right now, like genocidal country which is Israel. So they're spending a lot of money there, and they're trying to save only 455 billion. Even if you do a minus right now, it's still 36 trillion 400 billion something, which is not enough. How much Doge can save, right? That's the point, which it still can't, and they'll still have to issue more money to be able to save their banks. And this is why it's so bad with interest when you run a currency backed by interest and backed by people's money. What you don't notice is all these politicians and elites, they have sucked out so much money from the economy of US, not only there, from the entire world, that everybody else is losing and they're just winning. But why are they winning is because their taxpayers are in debt $107,700 per citizen, at least, at an average, this much. Debt per taxpayer is $323,000. So this is how they're doing their calculation. But now, this parabolic run, the previous month, like last month, this parabolic run was over. It fell below this, and on the other chart, you can go and check and confirm that I kept telling you that in here, this is the last place it can go up from this demand, and if it keeps falling back, it will even go lower than this, which I don't think it can hold any longer. It will keep on falling from here because it has, on this chart, broken this demand on a monthly chart, on a monthly candle. You can see this. It's a big breakout. It's below all these support levels. Well, if you don't know technical analysis, you can join our Slack Academy. We're teaching. But you can also join for free from the link below. Anyways, so this candle last month was a confirmation that the US dollar is gonna fall, and this was a retest of that confirmation, which lately happened. On the other hand, Bitcoin got momentum, and this was where Bitcoin was in a little dip, which we went to $74,000. It was because the dollar was going up this time, and it reached back to this level, which I again told you, like last time, like always, when I told you first here that it's gonna fall from here. Same thing, I told you here that it's gonna fall from here, and the third time I'm telling you that it's gonna fall from 101 price point in this chart, and it will keep on going down, and it will lose its dominance over other currencies in the world. And I will show you other currencies as well and what is supporting this, because I am not saying this just from my stomach or how I just think. It's not about that. It's about how well this chart shows this parabolic run, and once it's over and once it's broken, it can only keep falling down. So we are in a new trend, which in a multi-cycle and in yearly cycles, we're gonna see dollar keep on falling and falling and falling. So this is what I think is going to happen. If you see, I have a trend line here. If we just copy it, right? I just copied it, and let's remove this low, and I bring it. What do you see here? I have included both of these two lows. Where does it give us the third low that it can go to? The first time it was at 78. Second time in 2008 it was at 71, lower than before. What is going to happen this time if this parabolic run is over, which it is definitely after all these elections and all these things that they're doing? It's nothing but propaganda, and they're just trying to tell people, oh, they're doing so good, this Trump They're all the same, bro. They're all the same. I'm telling you, they're all the same. That's the secret of it. Don't tell anyone. But, anyways, you can tell the whole world, like I care. Everybody should know. Everybody should know. Now I'm gonna mark these two support levels for you. Where do you see the third one happening? Okay, let's project in our minds that, okay, a new trend has started, that it will keep on falling and falling and falling until it reaches this level. It could happen even in 2030, which is here. I can just put a line for you right here. Okay, it can happen in 2030 as well. Why I think at 2030 it's something else why I say it. But anyways, so this trend that is going to be formed, it will take us down more and more, or maybe even longer, or maybe before that, if it's really catastrophic and if there's a black swan and US dollar completely gets destroyed, which it will, inshallah. So yeah, this parabolic run is over. From now on, the only thing that you should be focusing on, like always, is first Bitcoin, second gold. Why do I say this? Because as Michael Saylor says, and as per my research, Bitcoin is the best asset, and I think that this, because it's digital and it's technology and it's powered by electricity and millions of miners in the world, this is gonna be the best performing asset, which I'm gonna show you the chart in a while. But dollar will be useless. They cannot repay this debt, and they will eventually have to reset. So there's gonna be a proper reset for the markets, because that's the only way they can fix it. There's no way they can pay this debt. Then there's another way, which they're saying that they're gonna be buying Bitcoin in their treasury. So let's imagine if US, the way they say that they're gonna be owning 1 million Bitcoin, which is almost like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 9-10% of the entire Bitcoin that they're going to purchase. But if they do that, then what do you think is gonna happen? That's one thing that you should keep in mind, that they themselves will be flipping either their bonds, US bonds, or their gold, which I still don't think they have any gold to do that. But even if they have, they will flip that into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is suddenly gonna soar. And everybody that before that knows they have been accumulating Bitcoin as their saving, as their give me a second. Do you guys hear my voice? Yes. Okay, so you hear. So yeah, then where were we? Yes, so currently a lot of other institutions in the US, they're also giving a chance to their customers to come and be able to buy Bitcoin through them, and they will be coming into digital currencies in big time. And in order for US dollar to survive, they will be having a proper stable coin backed by US dollar. So you're able to send it internationally, still able to use it, and still be able to have US dollar as a currency. So that's what they can do. And they might also use Bitcoin as the backing of it. So in order for them to resolve this debt, they need to go on Bitcoin, promote Bitcoin, so everybody else in the world also do that. So every other citizen in the world, they also come and do that. So the price of Bitcoin reaches to 1 million, to 10 million, to 100 million. Then if they have 1 million BTC, now this is your homework. go and check if the price of Bitcoin is at $10 million, how much their Bitcoin is going to be worth. That's how they're going to be solving this debt issue. And for me, this is the beginning of a new trend, which it happened this month. It confirmed for us that it's going to be dropping and it's going to be crashing. And it's the only way for us now, the things that we should see is we should focus on Bitcoin, then all the other digital currencies. Then we should also look at gold, because gold is also going to soar really, really nicely. But what will happen to US dollar? Well, we don't really know, because they use war to fix it, and the only currency that is the dirtiest currency in the world is US dollar. It has sucked literally blood of people out of themselves, and these blood sucking people, they have taken so much money out of people using interest, using their high taxes and hidden fees everywhere, through the banks. They're no good people, they're just evil people, you should know. And this breakout confirms that we're gonna go down. Okay, what is the other scenario, just in case it doesn't happen, because something else, may Allah not let that happen and let this happen, so the US dollar gets crashed. If suddenly the price out of nowhere comes, instead of going to this trend, it comes and gains back momentum above this line and keeps going up, then it will not be good for the markets, not for crypto. But eventually crypto is gonna succeed, because it's the best form of currency and it's unstoppable. Nobody can stop it in the world, at least right now, until there is, who knows, quantum computers that can come and cipher cryptography and take hold of 50% of the miners, more than 50% of the miners. Then they will be able to, okay, let something happen. But remember, if something like that happens and there is a supercomputer, which is quantum computers, and they're able to go through cryptography, then nothing is safe in the world. Instead of having any kind of money, you need to have guns in your hands. That's what very few people think in the world, and I think that's the best way to look at it. If you think that Bitcoin is gonna succeed, it will succeed really nicely. Otherwise, if this thing is gonna go away, you should know that your life is in danger, literally. That's all for now. So this video was solely made for US dollar and its dominance that it's losing. Let me show you Bitcoin as well, that currently what's happening. As you can see, Bitcoin's monthly candle is at all-time high at the moment. It's sitting right in the zone. It's getting a little bit of rejection, but the daily candle hasn't closed yet, and this trend line is not broken yet, so we still have a chance to break. It might still consolidate here before a breakout. Most likely that will happen, but if something else happens, I will surely update you. To get the best updates from me, and very quickly, you need to be in Slack. All these analysis I do is completely for free. You can check it on Slack. But if you want to learn technical analysis and join Wealth Group, which in there we teach you risk management, and we teach you properly how to build a halal portfolio for yourself, which is entirely halal and based on a few cryptocurrencies that we think that is halal and at the moment is gonna break out and make us money. So you can come and join there, and it's just for the students, and I'm not gonna be mentioning it here because out of not knowing, people misuses it. And yeah, have a good day, and check the link down below if you want to, and subscribe, like as well.